feeling it.
I'm Johnny Lieberman, and you're watching LNP. What does LNP stand for?
Late Night Playset.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've been on there. Yeah, good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
You trim your beard. You look great. And he did a shave. Everybody looks great. What's up, you guys? Kurt must be here. Beautiful. Hi, what's up, dude? What's up, Gus? Tommy. Hey, how are you? Good to see you guys. Good morning.
Flowers. And here's the flowers are still standing. That's Ghostbusters. That's not what we're doing here. I'll turn it off though so that uh-oh, Chris, you might be effed here. There we go. Almost didn't have an off button on the bubbles. The on button works no problem, but the off button seems to be a little rusty.
The bubble show.
Oil can. The desk is calling out to me. Oil can. Boy, is that a dated reference. Anybody get it? Anybody's parents get it? Your grandparents definitely get it.
I got it from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Exactly. Oral cramp, but the movie's 100 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was on every year. We used to make it an event.
Us too.
Make popcorn.
Okay. Your family did all that? Hi, Smart Money Steve.
Yeah.
Driftwood, but it's amazing what you didn't watch, but you made time for that stuff.
Of course.
SoCal Porsche addicts. Shazza Mike. Da 007 way. The 007 way. The 007 way. Okay. I'm not making fun of it. Sometimes it sounds like I am. But the truth is I'm just trying to programming myself, I guess is what's happening. Shazza Mike. Is that you liking that? Robert Linton's here. Grand Impression. Hello. I hope that you have better luck on Friday, Grand Impression. The last time we saw you, hello, Mama Stiglitz here. Sorry your kid isn't. Grand Impression, last time we saw you and your British car, you were at the top of the hill. I feel like you could have rolled it to Breakfast Club, but didn't quite make it. Literally one turn away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So close.
Up there at Dead Man's Turn where all the flowers are. Remember they were parked. It looked like they were taking a photo. Remember they had both of the MGs there? Well, one had the hood up, not for a photo. No.
Good
Anyway,
to know.
Hopefully that works out. What are we doing? Right. My name's Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. Some things are different here. So to me, I'm like, find the red light. Okay, got it. Late Night Playset. Welcome back to Late Night Playset. Tonight is Thursday, August 26th, 2021, and our guest this evening is Mr. Pinstripe Chris. He's a friend. He is a fellow artist. He is a hell of a creative guy and a hell of a nice guy, and he's making a hell of a name for himself in the automotive community. Actually, I shouldn't say that. You've been well known in the auto community. I don't know. You're blowing up in LA finally or something.
Very nice of you to say.
I'm not trying to be polite. I mean it. I mean, I knew about you, a long time ago.
Polite. It's still very polite.
I think you're a good guy. Anyway, I feel like blowing up in the LA scene is whatever. You're starting to get your due. I feel like more people
Sounds cool when you say it that way.
knowing who you are. I don't know. No, I mean, you've done our little show a bunch of times, and we've got we've got a very loyal, small, cultivated audience. But then maybe doing like the huge, maybe doing like the Smoking Tire podcast. Maybe that something.
Yeah.
Your artwork speaks for itself, but and you've got tons and tons of followers. Actually, I don't know what it is with you.
We'll never know.
Seems like more people are knowing who you are these days, though, and it's a good thing for you.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah. So Pinstripe Chris will be in here in a few minutes to talk to us just like we did there, but more, and he'll be sitting here instead of where he is now. In the meantime, hellos. How are you doing, Sticky Vape?
Maintaining.
Yeah, I know. It's been a rough few weeks for you. Usually it's a rough few weeks, and then it gets okay for a bit. We have not leveled out yet. Still rough.
It's leveling out. I was on the phone a lot this morning. That wears me out more than I thought. Oh, well.
Everything does, though. Everything wears you out more than anything.
I never expect the phone to, but that's a red flag.
Probably not the phone. It's whoever you're talking to while you're trying to. Because there's a lot of work that goes into making someone understand you. Used to be very easy for you. Now it's a lot more difficult.
This one's easier. Like, there's
good.
experience with my situation, so it's more comfortable.
Well, I'm sorry it still takes it out of you. Anyway, as far as medicating through that so that you can be good here on the show for us and for your own comfort, we've got King Louis, which is unopened over here, and then we've got what we have been sucking on over here on the G13. We've been hauling down on one of the G13 sticks over here. The Energizer looking G13 Haze. No, there is a fine print here. But the problem is it's printed in like mirror font, and we're in a studio with like a million different lights. So there we go. Mood. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Mood. Open and aware. Ooh. Mood, open and aware. G13 Haze. I feel like I'm going to make the decision for you.
I like that.
Please keep sticking on the G13 stick, and then I'll just pretend I'm hanging out with you with this clear tube here.
Cool.
Cool. Look how cool we are. I'm just kidding. Donna Whitland Studio. Guards Rad. Oh, I did. Yeah, I got to scroll up again. I always do this, guys. Driftworthy is here. 928 Dublin. Are you actually in Dublin? That would be so cool. Driftworthy. Irvin Reverb. Smart Monday, Steve. Happy Almost Friday. Happy Almost Friday to you, too. Grand Impression says, so close. Yeah, you were so close, man. I wasn't kidding. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could have gotten you to Breakfast Club, but then same problem. Then you just would have been there with everybody going like, hey, can I help? And nobody actually having the awareness to, did you try that? Have you thought about? Yeah, we all do that. Everybody's an armchair mechanic, Especially when your buddy's on the side of the road. Oh, well, the hood's up. Just check the oil. All the different stuff.
Except up there, you can't Google or YouTube anything because there's no service. So.
No. That's one of the best things about Breakfast Club, but one of the worst things about driving an old car to Breakfast Club is the lack of cell reception. But the nice thing is, there are, on the Breakfast Club days versus other days of the week, there's so much traffic of friendlies coming and going, like a small little town. Like, it's basically from your house to the post office. Like, oh, well, 60. You're going to see 60 people who
Someone's
can get a message.
Yeah.
That's unlike the rest of LA.
That's true.
And unlike being up there on any other days. I mean, obviously people
Also
always
true.
help you, but like it's weird to have.
You're by yourself otherwise.
To know every single person, and by somebody looking at your car being like, oh, you're one of us from the thing. Oh, all right, let's get this guy help.
Fair enough.
How's that G13? Sounds like I've had some.
Awesome.
I'm all wired up here. I had we make a, that doesn't matter. I have 2 half cups of coffee today. They're 2 full cups. I have 2 half cups of coffee every day. They're 2 full cups, but it's like run through the Keurig twice, so it's like watered down. It's like a half calf. And usually I have those in the morning, but sometimes I get to other things or like a phone call, like you were saying before, something gets to, and then the other one's there, and then later in the day I'll just be like, whoa, I can't let this go to waste, and I better. And I'm like, I'm not even sitting and enjoying the coffee. I'm just like, well, instead of pouring it down the drain, I'm pouring it down my gullet. You know, it's so ridiculous. And here's the result. What do you think? It happens more often than you'd think. It happens like once a week. It's just the days where it's show days, I should be more careful. I never really thought about it till now. I used to have coffee on the desk here until we realized that wasn't necessary. In the old days when it was you and me talking, like we would, well, this sounds very impolite.
Bring it.
What I mean is when it wasn't so much of a show, when it was just two people talking, it was easy to get, you know, like, it was easy to get kind of like down and, you know, whatever. We would go with the mood, and sometimes the guests would bring up, whatever, and we would kind of go there. So the coffee was a nice pick-me-up. Ever since we changed this into whatever this is, it just hasn't been necessary. We cultivate an energy in here. This environment cultivates an energy.
Yeah, it does.
So stop drinking so much coffee. I know. I don't know what to tell you. It's my fault. Kayla Marzo is here. What's up? Scott SoCali, Miss MS Warrior joined. That's all one thing. Scott SoCali, MS Warrior joined. Awesome, Scott. Look up that later because MS might be your same one. I mean, I'm guessing with MS Warrior. I mean, it would be odd to not be. And kind of a dick if it's not, actually. It's kind of a dick move.
Totally.
Cars and Cannabis is here. What is up? Great to see you. Now, speaking of on the side of the road, when we went down the same last week, I think it was last week, when we descended the mountain, I can't see anybody or anything. Here we are. Clean these and everything. This tube is strong, I'll tell you. Just pretending to suck on a tube that's sealed at both ends really gets it to you. Was your orange SC? Did you have car trouble also, is what I guess I should be asking. It seemed like you were on the side of the road also, but you could have been restrooming, you could have been hiking, could have been anything, except I was thinking he left a while ago. You know, it's not like he left 5 minutes before us.
Right.
He left like hours before us. It was like 2 o'clock. Maybe it was a late one last week.
Yeah.
It was great weather, and everybody just was in good mood and wanted to stay. You were there or you weren't there?
I was there briefly.
Didn't see you, but people tagged you, and then I saw that you tagged something. I was like, what's going on here? Later, Graham?
Yeah, I left quickly.
How come? Somebody you didn't like arrived?
No, nothing like that.
I heard there was controversy.
Someone was trying to park in front of me on Angela's Crest, and I was like, no thanks, you can have my spot, I'm leaving.
Oh, yeah, it got, so that's one thing. It was the first one after Car Week, so it got, it was busy.
It was. It's cool. It was nice to see a bunch of people, but yeah, once we got to that point, I was like, I'm going to go now.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Gabriel John, Brew Stash Brewery. That's a great name, Brew Stash Brewery. Like Bruce, you know, like, because if you, whatever. I stopped drinking before I had a beard, but I've seen it in other people. You take a sip of your beer and you get the foam in the thing. I'm assuming that has something to do with that, you know. Time to make the donuts, but it's beer.
That's fine.
King of Pasadena is here. Wow. Your Majesty.
Wow, royalty.
Fantastic. This is an exciting night for all of us.
What an honor.
Oh, God. I've got so many people to thank. Jeez. Where to start?
How's the Queen?
Sully Sound. Porsche Passionist is here. Hank on camera 5, which you can see right there. Hi, Hank on camera 5. Awesome. There's no hope in dope, says Basic Chill Town. Yeah, I guess. I mean, except when that dope is your only hope. Touche. Tom is here, 1983, 911 SC. Mr. Nautis, Jerry. Sanyo Hazel is here. By the way, she is, I'm going to say Mrs. for the sake of terminology here, like she's Mrs. Me. Sanyo Hazel here is Mrs. Lang's Customs, which is the loudest car on the crest. It's like a hand-built car. It's custom-made. The whole thing is very, very cool, and I think it's going to be great. Yeah, the red one. Does the color matter? The loudest car on the crest. We love seeing it up at Good Vibes Breakfast Club. Can't wait till it's off. Every time. But you guys are wonderful energy, and congrats for doing that. The car's really cool. I can't wait till it has a hood and an exhaust. Then it's going to make everybody very happy. Right now, it's just woo,
Especially the squirrels and the
getting
deer.
attention in all the wrong places. But also, the other thing is the car is very impressive. It's very, very impressive. So it's hard to get to that when it's, what do you call that? Inflaming all your senses.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
No, it's so cool. I mean, you've seen the car I'm talking about, right? It's super cool looking.
Heard more than seen, yes.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, it
You
has a
hear it and you're like,
presence.
oh, I got to get away.
I'm aware.
But then once it's off and you just walk up to it, you're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of really good work here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They're laughing. All right. Harvey Cantor is here. Really? Oh, it's spelled differently. I thought it was from the deli. Beverly Whedon's here. Nice to see you, Beverly. We need to get a real studio audience like the show we were watching so that we can have all our real people come out to the thing every, it's Friday night. It's good vibes in the morning and we'll see you at night at the studio. And everybody comes down and then we have the real confetti cannons and all that other stuff. There'll be prizes, giveaways.
That'll be fun.
I've been watching, we'll tell everybody else in a second here. Then we'll get Pinstripe Chris in here. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess it's talk to you Thursday. Sorry. Forgive me. I don't know what's happening here. That stuff is the strongest one yet, though, I think. I don't know if it actually is, but it feels like it. When I took a hit off this, it was like, pow! I don't mean today. I mean when I did.
It feels aggressive.
Yeah, in a great way. I mean, it's just, if I had known, now I know. What was I going to tell you? Oh, yeah, so we watched a documentary last night that is not car related even remotely, but it was called The Evocateur, and it was about the old show Morton Downey Jr. You guys remember him, Morton Downey Jr.?
No,
You don't remember the old talk show Morton Downey Jr.? You're too young, probably.
maybe. What
Aren't
year
you?
was it?
Good question. We know the answer to this now. It was 87 to 89. He goes, But he was a famous guy because he was a provocateur. He was an evocateur. The guy started a lot of shit, I'll tell you that. You remember the logo was just an open mouth with a bunch of teeth? You remember that?
That sounds familiar.
Okay. It was that guy. People made fun of him on everything. Made fun of him on Saturday Night Live and everything. There's a documentary that was on Amazon that we watched. And the thing is, they used to do this to other people, it was just controversial television, whatever. It's all local TV for me because, again, I grew up in the area and all the people, all the players, it's all right there. Over in Secaucus, New Jersey, at the Channel 9 show, at Channel 9 station where Howard Stern used to do his famous Channel 9 show. You're a Stern guy, so you know about the Channel 9 show.
Yeah.
You remember all the story, but you was probably too young for it. But
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Stern moved into the studio of Morton Downey Jr. after Morton Downey Jr. got canceled,
Wow.
like within a year, like right around there, something
Man.
like that. Yeah, and then took over the crazy, controversial guy role down at the studio. Anyway, we watched this documentary, and boy, nobody's going to give a shit about that. I can't believe I'm going telling more about it. I'm so sorry. It's very interesting if you like talk shows and talk show people and entertainment and television. But for me, they didn't ever mention Howard Stern in it because he wasn't part of it. But I then went to go start watching the Channel 9 show on YouTube because apparently they're all there. Who knew? And I used to watch this show when I was a kid because it would come on after Saturday Night Live in the New York area.
That's late.
Well, no, but it was a superb place to. It was not on NBC. Showtime at the Apollo was on NBC, but it was on Channel 9 at that time. Like it would come on at midnight or
Totally
whatever the
makes
heck.
sense.
Yeah, and it was really really good. But anyway, so I'm watching the Channel 9 show and I'm seeing everything's reused. Like they would do like a People's Court riff, but the podiums are the podiums that had the mouths on them. They just peeled the mouth off. Like I literally did. Oh God, you know me. I did a freeze frame and went through that. I was like, I think those are the same. Oh my God, look at that. And so much other stuff. It's hilarious. Morton Downey Jr. And if you get a chance, whether you're a Howard Stern fan or not, this is captivating television. Go watch. I'm going to make you watch one tonight when I'm making dinner after the show. Go watch the Channel 9 show. I just Googled or YouTubed Howard Stern Channel 9, I think, is literally all I YouTubed. And there's like 60 or 80 of them or something like that. Captivating. Because of what we all know about Howard Stern now, none of it is all that risque. I mean, there's girls in bikinis and all this other stuff. And if anything, the behavior is risque just because you can't get away with that shit anymore. But it's worth a watch of it's this little show. It's this little show with their little cast of characters all hanging around. And it's really, really God damn it, I'm doing it again. I'm getting ahead of myself because I can't tell them what you already know. Like, we're working on something behind the scenes that'll be really great for everybody, and I've accidentally said a few things that would be part of it already today during this story, but just imagine something like that with some people being able to come see that live, and including cars, and it'd be really fun. All right, let's start a show here, shall we? That was the hellos. 20 minutes of hellos. Well, we started the show late, so that's good. Make sure I remember to press record tonight. I did, so we're ahead of the game there. We'll have a recording at the end of this. I'd like to tell you all about my shirt and where you can get one just like it, as well as this hat from this company. Actually, all of this stuff. But from this company. Everything here is GVBC related except for this hat. But this hat is here to remind you about this company. Does that make sense? So what we have, of course, is our beautiful, the classic GVBC tee. Of course, you have the 111 in the light and dark gray, depending on how that works for you. I am the worst at this. And, sticker pack. Got to get that. And, by the way, the sticker packs apparently have been selling, and I don't know anything about sales. I don't know how that works, but I know I've been seeing on them on cars all over the place, and then people are posting in different parts of the country, not even Porsches, with the sticker pack on
Whoa.
it, which to me is awesome because it's not about
really
Porsches.
Cool.
And of course, there's the pin there too, which comes in a little thing, a little card from the Dual Shift. You go to this company right here, and then you go to Dual Shift, and you get it from them. There you go. See? Did you guys miss all that? You guys missed all that. The TV audience got it. I think what happened is you blew some of your stuff in here, and it just kind of sucked it up. I don't mind. As long as you don't mind if I'm in a good mood. As long as nobody minds if I'm over here microdosing. Tomorrow's Customs had some engine issues. Oh, God, I'm sorry, buddy. That was Cars and Cannabis from a question I asked him 20 minutes ago. You were on time. I haven't scrolled down. LASD Motorsports is here. Doug's 73E. Mondio G3. Leo B. Hank LASD. Okay. Hello, everybody. Sorry. Jamie Tate Drums. Drive More. Alpha 952. Mark Jupiter Dumbo. That's one person. Mura Collision. Oof. That's a small market. Mura Collision. Mura Collision Repair. Morton Downey Jr. Wow, flashback. Exactly. But I'm telling you, this the thing is great. Documentary is great. It's called The Evocateur.
It's a great movie.
Lang's Custom. Yeah, there you go. That's the guy with the red car. The really loud custom red car. It's beautiful. If you can see past the noise. But it's going to be great. I mean, it's already great. It's going to be better. Who am I to say? It's not my fault. Did I tell you about the bubble people?
Not yet.
I should. I'm not going to do it now, though. I'm going to throw it all out. Lang's Custom, speak in the tube, Sonny. My hearing's so good, LOL. Always great to see you guys. Oh, yeah, right, because he's got no hearing from riding around in that car. Get it? Every time he posts something, I'm like, I can't hear you, in all caps.
Oh.
It's a neat-looking car, though. Oikos. Well, my dyslexia and repetitive memory saw skip loss. You know, whatever. You know when you have to, associative memory, whenever you see a couple of things and you're like, what is that word? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Theoretically, we don't actually read most road signs and all that stuff. It's just familiarity.
It's why you can literally read what you think is there when letters are missing.
Right. Or you can read the wrong thing based on your own programming.
Yeah.
When sometimes it doesn't even say that. Not even tonally. I mean, the words are not.
Yeah.
You ever do that where you read something? Oh man, son of a bitch! I can't believe they said that.
All
and then you
the
read
time.
it again later in a different sentence. And you're like, I think they were being complimentary. I think they were not. Like, I can't believe I responded to it.
I have to reread everything now. That happens all the time.
Dom's Garage. Everybody, if you need a really good car detail, Dom's Garage does a nice job. Dom's Garage, you offered to do yellow car at one point. I think it might be time soon to do it. I'm thinking when it goes into the shop, maybe do you do it before or after? Either we, that would be my first logic too, but you might do it before.
Oh.
Like, If I told you, do you do an oil change before the trip or after the trip, what do you say?
After.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, that would be the right answer. But most people would say before the trip, because logic would say, oh, you get the oil change before the trip. But the truth is, you'd want that dirty oil out of the car after. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Good for you.
Gave me.
It's the right kind of thinking. We just pulled an infused carbon art hood out of the mold today. It was like Christmas. Wish I could post a teaser pic somehow. Thanks for the shout out. Congratulations. That's huge. That's what we were saying. I can't wait till it's got a hood and exhaust. There comes a hood right now.
Nice.
Isn't that something?
That's progress.
It's pretty cool. Well, I guess there's not that many parts left to make, so I guess it's not that crazy to me. I was like, what are the chances? And it's like, well, the car's complete except for that. Valerie Vasquez is here. Do you say Vasquez or Vasquez? Or do you go full Spanish? Because VAS is isn't that the Portuguese or Puerto Rican spelling? And VAZ would be the Spanish spelling. And some of them go full Vázquez. B-T. Why are you?
You're so funny
Hey,
to me.
hang on a second. Wow. Do you all remember? This was the host placard from my high school television show. Let's not forget what my original real last name was. Okay? Before I changed it after my dad died. So, that's a true story. That's why I was asking. Nicole, I haven't forgotten about calling you. Life just got in the way.
No worries, dude.
Whatever, Valerie. That's a lot of people. Oh, I'm totally gonna do it. Valerie isn't that Tim's Fireball?
Yeah.
Tim's friend? Oh, we like her. They went to Bob's Big Boy after this.
No way.
Yeah. Yes. Can you believe it?
I can't modulate anything anymore. That's so cool. I love it there.
Yeah, the one over here, our local one.
Yeah, I
you
like
did too.
that
Okay,
one
good.
too.
Okay. It's hilarious. All right. Yeah, it's a good thing I told you about all that other shit, huh? I'll tell you. I think we'll skip the TBT for another time just because I'd like to get our guest in here at some point this evening. He drove all the way up here. I do have to tell you a few things about some sponsors, though, and I'll start with our friends at St. Clair Insurance. They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. In this case today, we are talking about collector car automobile coverage. I am Fireball's friend, Valerie Vasquez says. Is it Vasquez? 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 Is that a married last name? Is that yours? I'm thinking I may be asking her questions that she doesn't know about or even give a shit about. She's like, let me put my husband on the line. I'll get it from him. Now, can you imagine would you be Nicole? No, I don't think so. You would have kept Shabbat probably.
I probably would have taken it, but I
Wouldn't have liked it?
I wouldn't have liked you. Like, that name would have turned me off.
Oh, isn't that fun? Oh, look at you. You're like some kind of, what do they call you, a xenophobe on the, what's the show that did so well in Brazil? Thousands of people found some episode we did of this show because we had somebody from Everybody Hates Chris on here, and that show is huge in Brazil. So thousands and thousands of people watched a show we did with an actress from Everybody Hates Chris here, where she was the racist school teacher. And they all are convinced that you're also a xenophobe, that the show is, that she is also, and the whole thing. And for everybody who thought that, somebody else chimed in like, no, they're just stupid Americans. They don't know any better. But it's if you know how to speak Spanish, we had to Google Translate a lot of it. There's a tremendous great thread on the Jackie Mazzarella episode of this show.
I used to be kind of like you said, like, I pointed shit out, but I didn't think that way. I just noticed differences.
Say it again. Say what you mean again.
I sounded racist, but I didn't feel racist.
Oh,
I just noticed differences.
That's most of the problem. Most of the time I get in trouble with my mouth and words. I didn't have a bad intention, but it didn't stop me saying something that came out wrong.
And I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
It was second nature.
Yeah, that happens. Valerie says, call me whenever you want. Shooter Chris is here. 91730 win. Joined. Oh boy, is that it? Maybe it's probably a zip code. That sounds like a lovely West Coast. Gosh darn it, West Side zip code. No, it doesn't matter. So we've got Shooter Chris, we've got Chris Has a Camera, and we've got Pinstripe Chris, all on the same show. Isn't that exciting? Bobby Bass is here as well. It's time. Nicole, I love your blog. You are a fantastic writer. I agree with that.
Thanks.
Most people agree with that. I think safe to say. You. In this case, we're talking about automobile collector car coverage. The collector car market is all over the place. In fact, the automobile market is all over the place. If you haven't tried to buy a car, or a new or used, try to rent a car lately, try to get a car as a loaner at a dealership, there just simply are no cars these days. I don't know what the hell happened. Apparently, a lot of kids turned 16 and had a lot of Bitcoin to buy cars, and there are no cars anymore. So that's new, and it's driving the prices up through the ceiling. So the car that you have in your garage, congratulations, you have a car. It's worth more because of all of this than it used to be. So with that, you're going to want to make sure you have the automobile coverage to substantiate your new lottery ticket sitting in the garage downstairs. Congratulations, you're a winner. You're going to want to dial up Jeff St. Clair over at St. Clair Insurance and go over your coverage opportunity. What would you call that?
Needs.
Well, no. What he provide? What
Options.
Options is better. Your coverage option. Whatever. Anyway, call Jeff St. Clair. Jeff St. Clair at. Did I mention Stuttering John also is on this show? So he's a and I think I've developed a little of that. St. Clair Insurance. Jeff St. Clair at St. Clair Insurance. And it's coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
I did all the heavy lifting. You can't even. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Micro Machines.
It was awful.
Coincidentally happened to be one of the worst ones. Our friends at Tradecraft Farms and Sticky Vape, thank you. We talked to you all about them the other day as we opened up a care package on the show. But that is what I keep putting it here because I want it here, and you keep putting it back there, and I don't know why. I want it here so that way they're not looking at it. That way you can have it anytime you want, but nobody else is looking at it.
Thanks, I'll do that.
Does that make sense?
Does now.
Okay. Also, I'm thinking it'll be easier for you to get, and if I'm wrong about that, then make it easier for you to get.
It's probably fine.
Shout out to Tradecraft Farms and the Sticky Vape people who just moved in across the street. The last thing I have to tell you about is the best bubbles in the world are made by Bubble Tree, the American Bubble Company. It's true. I could push a button for that, but this is the actual product you'll get when you buy it from them. You're not going to get the whole machine and the talk show desk and everything. It doesn't come with it when you order it from them. I got a button here. I mean, it's really kind of amazing how it all works, but you're not going to get that. You got to use the old one-man power or woman. Is it time? We've gone a half an hour. I think that means it's time. Is that right? Yes! Yes! Everybody remember Marv Albert? Yes! All right, commercial's done. In this case, it's time to get our guest in here, Mr. Pinstripe Chris. Now it's time to come on over, buddy.
All right.
Yeah!
Over there for so long. Hey, thank you for the.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy. And I'll get this out of your way. We were trying to figure out what to do with this yesterday. Now, I might be able to do. We could do this. Do this.
Does that not make you uncomfortable?
It makes me very
Oh, okay.
hideously uncomfortable. I want to know what the Instagram audience wants to do, though. Pull that mic over to you as well. Instagram audience, is something like this good, or is something like this? Oh, God. There goes the American bubble.
Things are about to start falling off the other side.
Oh, I'll kill that. See, there's too many things. I'm gonna kill that. I don't know what to do here. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow, people are going for a ride.
Where do we go? What is this? Maybe we put you out here in the window. Maybe that's where we go with it.
Where am I right now?
Carissable's here. Hi, Carissable. Chi-Town crew. There are a bunch of people over there. I don't know what to do with it, so maybe we'll do that.
That
for
looks
now.
great.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
better. Okay.
Perfect.
And then we can go to them from time to time, and then if we want, we can throw them up here as well, like that.
Amazing.
All right.
So much technology.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like stepping
and
into
now
the
that we
future.
figured all that out.
This is basically like Blade Runner.
Was that a good way or a bad way?
Always.
Was it the toys, all the misfit toys up in the?
No, and from the original, I could say.
Yeah. Oh, what did you mean? That monstrosity with Ryan Gosling?
Hey, don't you even?
Was it good? Is it good?
Did you not watch it?
No, we did, but I don't remember liking it. I could be wrong though.
Try it again.
Really?
Yeah. Did you watch it in the theater? Oh, I loved it.
Watch it in the theater.
Well,
I haven't seen a movie in the theater since Superbad. That's I see he's laughing because it sounds like a joke. Sadly, it's very true.
No, I believe you.
She opened Superbad. We didn't even know each other, and I saw that
Oh, wow.
movie like 3 times in the theater. I went to 2 screenings at Paramount, and we paid for it once in the theater.
Nice. Back the movies were $5. Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, it was 2008, 7.
Movies might have been like
Something
$6 or $7.
It
Yeah.
was Promenade. It was like $15.
Oh,
3rd Street Promenade.
It was, and
never
you
mind.
have to eat. Like there has to be. a
Oh,
snack.
$30. Yeah, no, because I'm sure we had. Yeah, I did.
Good
got
Lord.
At least something in a soda.
All
Soda
right,
and
we're
milk
gonna
duds.
sell the car so we can go see a movie today. That's the plan.
Pinstripe Chris is here so
What's
that I
up?
could ask you, what is your favorite movie snack when you go to the theater?
Sour Patch Kids.
Really? And
Yeah.
that was a quick response, so that's like your automatic go-to.
Yeah, I like them so much that I know I shouldn't have them.
For real?
Yeah,
Wait.
because they're just
Which
like
part? What do you like about them?
well, that they're sour and they're chewy.
Like
Yeah, I don't want to be crunching in a movie theater. That doesn't seem appropriate.
crunching? Who crunches?
Yeah.
What's crunchable? What?
In a movie
what?
theater, people show up with like bags of chips, and you're like, you
No
got to
way.
be kidding me.
That's
That's what this
bad.
movie's gonna be like.
No, that's bad. I agree. Popcorn would be the crunchiest thing I could think of, though.
Popcorn's not that
I mean,
crunchy,
If
though.
you shake box shakers, annoy me. If you're gonna like shake your
Maybe
milk duds
it's
or
that it's
something.
those movie candy they give you in a box, and the box has a plastic container in it that you have to. Why? Why is
You're
it like
right.
this?
Some do.
Yeah.
Like the
Probably-
snow caps have.
Yeah, maybe that's just better shelf life for movie theaters. I have no idea,
100%
but it's
that.
absolutely annoying.
No, it's 100% that. Do you like Raisinets?
No,
Me neither. Goobers.
no.
Me neither. No. Those
That's
were like,
like-
when we were kids. Those were like the 2 most popular movie snacks. I hated them both.
And they're still like popular, but that's like they live on the shelf inside the movie theater thing for like a year, and you get them and they're all melted in the corner of that bag. So by the time you do open them in the theater, you're like, "Where's the? Oh man, now you've got a bar."
Are they melted from the cabinet itself, or from like being on one side, like next to the register and the lamp on the thing that illuminates the whole counter? Or
The
is it
amount of
from,
time that's gone by, the atoms have broken down
Oh,
and
that's-
come back together.
Yeah, it's just one big goober.
They're not designed to sit for that long.
What was the last movie you saw in the theater?
We actually saw a movie recently in theaters. Oh man, what the hell was it?
Everyone's talking about that Free Guy right now, the movie you can only see in theaters right now with
I know
Ryan
we saw.
Reynolds.
We saw the Scarlett Johansson movie.
Weird.
Yeah. No, is that
she
weird?
Mrs. Ryan Reynolds?
No,
Oh, she was when I saw them. They were together when I hung out with them.
they did a
like
movie
10 years ago.
together.
That was a while ago. Yeah,
Where
the
they,
last.
they were at the Scream Awards. They were together. I swear to God. He was a superstar, and so was she. We were
She
looking at. We're like, wow,
just
that's the
got
most
engaged
beautiful
to
people.
Colin Jost.
Oh,
Yes, that's right.
nowadays they just they
Yeah.
just had a baby or just pregnant
something.
or something.
They
Yeah,
had a
you're,
baby.
you're right.
You're
You're
right.
right. Yeah, it was the latest Marvel movie.
Which is
Um,
Loki.
No, it's her character in the movie.
Who?
Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow.
Oh, for God's sake! Did you read comic books when you were a kid?
Not as a kid,
You
but
do
more so
adult?
as an adult. Yeah,
Come on, because of the art or the stories?
a little bit more of the art. I could flip through and look at pictures and be more entertained for the same reason that I like cartoons. It's just there's a style to that world that's so much more interesting than real life.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
So
I'm not a
maybe
big
someone
comic
like
booky
you could
person, though.
explain it to me though, because I grew up. All my friends were comic book
Yeah,
fans. I didn't get it even.
I would
a little bit.
not be the right person to be talking about comic books. I enjoy the aesthetic, the story. I can kind of giggle through. Somebody wrote this.
But you're looking at the art.
But the art is the coolest part to me. The story is kind of cool, but if the art can tell the story, I don't have to read the words anyways.
I mean, I guess you're right. I get it.
If it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Watched that the other day. Bruce Almighty. It's a good one. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend a rewatch. Anytime we watch a movie that's good with a good message, that's like a wholesome whatever.
Yeah.
Anything that could be on the Hallmark Channel. Apparently, I feel the need to tell our audience.
Don't advertise the Hallmark Channel for them.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff made in that category that you would never find or be you would never be exposed to because it's on the Hallmark Channel and people have that reaction.
Well, because naturally around Christmas time, there's 400 different Hallmark movies that all have the same premise with different actors. And it kind of ruins that channel for the whole everything. Yeah.
That's the time of year when I tune in.
I'm sure that there are great movies on that channel.
Well, it was more of a style, you know.
It's definitely a style. You're not wrong.
These days, everything's on Amazon,
That's true.
so you just get whatever on Amazon. But we watched one the other day that you wrote a blog about, even, and I thought it was a lot of, like you said, there was a lot of nondescript people that looked like they could have kind of been famous, or they might have been famous in another parallel dimension or
Wow.
something. And no, I mean people who have acted. You know
Of
them and
course,
stuff,
of
but
course.
like, wow, they're leading in this. Oh, okay. And then the whole thing was very nice, and the message was great. And then before the credits started to roll at the end, the song started playing, and then the credits did roll, and it was all about Paul Newman and the Hole in the Wall gang, and,
Oh, wow.
and how angels are among us, and all this
Wow.
stuff. And like it was about changing your, it was one
Yeah.
of those movies about somebody, and then in the end they're like, oh, I get it, I understand.
Yeah,
life.
nothing wrong with that.
So whenever there's something like that, I'm like, and whatever one we just brought up a second ago, it was Yes Man with
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty now, and with Stiglet the other day it was Yes Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you like that kind of movie? Or
I
is
do.
that too Hallmark Channel for you?
I
You
like
too?
that, but I don't want that movie, when that movie's over, to watch another movie that has the same screenplay with different actors. I just don't want a 24-hour reel of that version of that movie.
In your mind, you're like, I got the message. I don't need to.
I'm good. I'm inspired. I'm going now.
Yeah, that's great. We're getting something. Yeah, well,
Yes. I don't need to. If you just continue to take it in, then you're not taking any action.
I don't know that I meant to insinuate that you should binge watch any of these.
Oh,
I just-
okay.
these are whenever one comes
It
up
felt
in
like
our-
you need to sit down and watch the Hallmark Channel, Chris. Learn
If I-
something.
maybe I said that. I didn't mean to.
No, it felt that way, but it wasn't you. It was me.
I can't believe you have such an anger towards the Hallmark Channel.
It's not an anger. It's
Bitterness.
No, it's not even that. It's just
Feud?
kind of a jokey, like, when someone's like, have you seen that Hallmark movie? I'm like, tell me about it, please.
It's the equivalent of a ABC Family for me. You know,
Yeah, I
it's the
could see
same
that.
kind of,
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. You expect some campiness, and as long as you know you're in for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, but, I wouldn't want friends to invite me over to watch a Hallmark movie.
Have you ever seen the Yes Man, Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters, actually.
Nice. Look at you. What
Yeah.
about Bruce Almighty?
Saw it in theaters, too.
Wow, you really do go to a lot of movies. And
I used to. Things have changed.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah, we are movie theater folk. Some movies are just better experienced that way. We tried watching some of the new movies that come out that'll be like HBO Direct or Amazon or something like that. The experience at home is nice and comfortable, but almost so relaxed that you can disconnect from the movie too easily.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that a sensory type of thing? Like, is it like, oh, we need the bigger screen and the loud sound and all that stuff to...
Maybe, I guess when you're paying for the experience, you're like, well, I'm just going to hang out here until it's over.
Yep.
Versus like, my dog's walking by, I better see if she's okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there's a different having other stimulus. I mean, that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons I stopped going to the theater is because I lost control over that experience. It wasn't, people weren't respectful
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
There was, cell phone.
Yeah.
Once the iPhone came out, coincidentally, same year, last time I saw a movie, wow, just put that together, 2007. Since that happened, everyone's available. People used to go to the movies and it was like being on an airplane and you weren't. But
That's true.
nowadays, people's like,
You're
oh,
present.
let me check my email or whatever.
Right.
And people's faces are lighting up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Over here. And I'm like, that's worse than your dog walking through the room? Not for me.
I guess it depends on your dog.
I don't have a dog, so because I really don't want that. All right, well, enough of this. Let's talk about cars and you, buddy.
Awesome.
I love your Pee Wee Herman pants, and I hope
Thanks,
that
man.
came out faster than I meant for it to.
Yeah. You know what? The ladies section
I say
fits
that
me
every
well.
time. I say it every time. They have the cool stripe.
Yeah, my racy stripy pants.
Then I'm just going to say I like that you have my favorite pants on.
I'll take that. Versus, I got a comment once on, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram. Someone was like, are those available in men's?
Oh, rude.
Oh, man.
You don't have to take that.
I didn't. I was like, look at me deleting comments. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you do that ever?
No, never.
What about people? Followers?
Do I delete people? Do I unfollow people?
Yeah, I didn't mean delete people.
Yeah.
I wish we could delete people. Sometimes we can't delete
Delete
people.
the F out of people sometimes.
But do you
It's
unfollow
rare.
or block people?
I don't block people well, there's one guy I have blocked, but
Oh, I started blocking people lately. I like it.
I've unfollowed a few people. People have to go, like, somebody's content has to change so much for me to be like, so this is what you're doing here now. I don't even want to scroll to see this anymore. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't mean that. I don't mean anything like that. I'm not that black and white either. I don't like your content anymore. Blocked.
Yeah,
Never look at my
yeah, nothing's that harsh, but yeah,
but I
I'll
mean-
unfollow people here periodically.
I learned this trick from Joe Rogan. Apparently, it's not only good for the algorithm; it's good for life.
Oh, wow.
To
Yeah.
kind of keep that rotation.
That's
going.
definitely true.
To go through your follow, first of all, I'll never follow more than 1,000 people. That has
probably
nothing to do
smart.
with the people. It
Yeah.
has to do with my own brain. I can't do it. I'm not
You're gonna remember this many people.
an iPhone. I can't remember the 1,000 that are there. So
Oh, yeah.
whatever. So it's kind of a constant cycle.
That's true. It's a good
and
idea.
If it's somebody, if I look at their account when I'm looking at it, it's somebody even if I like them, but they haven't posted since 2018, I'm like, well, this account's dead. I mean, I don't
Dead.
feel bad about unfollowing it.
Yeah.
Ironically, any of my dead friends, I usually keep those. I don't know why. Kind of goes against the grain there, but maybe it's my own little memorial
Yeah.
type of deal.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But the unfollowing, sorry, back to you. The unfollowing thing supposedly is like, I don't know, it's like tilling the earth. It's like
That's a really good idea. I'm going to do that.
and I don't mean like 50 at a time, but I mean like I'll do like 5 at a time every once in a while.
It's worth going through. I don't think I ever have. I don't follow a ton of people, but enough to where I should probably mill it down a little.
You have a shit ton of followers, always climbing, but you happen to be here while you're at 111,000.
I was thinking about that on the way over here.
Congratulations!
Hey, thank you.
How
thank you.
cool is that? To be at that. I mean, I remember when you were here at one point, it was like 30, then 60, then.
That's true, yeah.
How does it feel to be over 100,000?
It feels good. Do you
care?
No, well, I don't like to say that I don't care because that's a little bit unfair. I was talking to
Also
some...
highly inaccurate.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I absolutely care. It's fantastic. It's always nicer when the audience gets bigger. There's more people to share with. I guess the way that I feel about it is kind of weird because I basically Instagram for a living. That strangely is what my job is. I was telling somebody earlier, art just happens to be a byproduct of the whole process of me posting, strangely enough. The problem with, let's say, it's great to have a big following. You're always going to grab this much of that whole number. So as the number gets bigger, your reach gets smaller.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it sucks.
You got very serious when you said that, and I still don't really understand it.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's just mathematics that I don't understand.
No, because it's not like a 1-to-1 ratio. Say an average 10,000 follower an account will grab 3 to 5% of their audience. As your audience gets bigger, you're not still grabbing 3 to 5%. You're grabbing 1% or 0.5%. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter
like
how
a
many.
tax bracket type of deal.
In a way, yeah. So it's not exponential. You have a larger audience, but at the same time, less people are seeing it. So the people that maybe started following me 5 years ago or 2 years ago, I have no idea if they're seeing any of my stuff anymore.
Wild.
Yeah. So the most recent people that follow you are seeing the most stuff, but that percentage grab gets smaller as your audience gets bigger.
And there's nothing you can do about that, right?
No, and I
It's
realize
not like
it
you
sounds
can feed.
complaining like, oh no, I have too many followers. That is definitely not what I'm saying.
Didn't come across
It's
that way.
counterproductive because I want to be able to reach that number of people every single day with what I'm doing. That would be great. But it's not made to do that. So it's great that the audience is getting bigger, but it strangely means now it raises the bar a little bit. Right? Now I have to work a little bit harder to do hopefully stuff that's cooler or content type that is,
To weed through it even further.
or to help propel it. Like it's great that it's growing, but that also maybe it's just a background thing in my mind. It comes with expectations. Like you better keep doing cool stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, so don't slow down now.
Well, that's in the back of your mind, but you're also probably right from experience that you know that.
I've had a lot of practice with this. Yeah,
Not new.
not new with this. I've been
You've also cultivated an audience in a lot of different places before, so this is
to some
just
degree,
this
yeah.
one now.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoy the way all the different platforms work. Instagram is like the most challenging, but our biggest audience. Yeah.
Why is it more? Oh, because of the formatting?
Yeah. So say TikTok has a different format style than Facebook versus Instagram versus YouTube. And you can't just make one type of content and be like, I'm going to post it on all. It will never work. No.
Right. You want it to be that way.
Yeah, and a lot of people try to treat it that way. There's a science behind each of them, and there's a reason for it. Yeah, so you have to treat them differently.
In my mind, when we first started this, I thought exactly what you're saying. Like, we'll just create the thing, and then you blast it out all over the place. The moment you do that once, first of all, it knows it's the same thing.
Yeah,
The
it
computer,
totally does.
everything knows. So the moment you
100%.
try that, it's like, and
Exactly.
it locks you out of your, like, it
Totally.
screws you from your own algorithm.
Exactly. So your amazing
at the bottom of the
post.
list.
Exactly. If your amazing post on Instagram, you're like, F yeah, I'm going to post this on Facebook. It'll absolutely dink you on the Instagram side.
Yep.
You'll reduce your audience because each platform wants you to create unique content for its platform.
Makes
which
perfect sense, by the way.
Of course it makes sense. But if you're a content creator, you're like, wow, I have to do 4 different versions of this every day, which you can do, but it is a full-time job. So get a lot of mileage out of this 30-minute sketch. That's what I'm doing.
I don't know that I'll be able to live in the future. Like, I'll need a team in order to, like, we went to the Radford thing. Well, it's anywhere you go.
Yeah.
But when you see a social media person who's got, like, a lot of followers, like 500,000 or more followers.
They got a team.
They've got a team
Yeah,
following
100%.
them. Literally a social media content creation team.
Yeah.
Just someone around following them with a
Yeah.
camera, like their own paparazzi, who then blah blah blah. Then they throw that into edit, and then they throw up little blurbs and all over the place. Full-time job.
Yeah, it's silly when you see it because I work with some people that have that. They have camera guys that follow them, and they're awesome folks too. But then you see the scale of what they do, and you're like, oh wow, you couldn't do this by yourself. You
No.
need a team in order to.
It's a
to really-
production.
100%.
It's an actual production.
Yeah.
Speaking of productions, what are you up to lately? I've been talking to Ball Kennel, so I know some stuff. But I don't think our audience knows anything.
I
don't know how
so
much you
much
can
stuff.
say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do artwork is what I do every day mostly, but working on an art installation in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
It's a Porsche set of parts, and that's cool. I can talk a little bit about it. I can't go crazy, but working with some really cool guys on painting a bunch of classic 911 parts like hoods, doors, and fenders, all different race car libraries, which has been a lot of fun. We got
Super cool.
yeah, we've been working on that the last few weeks. As soon as I leave here, I go back to the paint shop and keep on lettering.
And this is just for them for their space, or is that
It's
these
for
are
a car
these are for
collection.
sales?
So
Right,
it's
but
an
for this
installation.
space.
Yeah.
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 It's not like you're painting hoods that will then be for sale for people to
No,
buy.
no, you
This is
could
for
think of it
someone.
as a commission set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just me by myself. There's a bunch of artists that are working on this together.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's really awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's-
think I know where you are. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's the concept for the project was a little bit different than kind of the way it was going, because now everything's being done with like automotive base coats and urethanes and clear coat, and that's a process that I'm familiar with, of course. So bringing in other artists and kind of training everybody a little bit on the materials and how to treat them is a totally different thing, because you can't just hire artists off the street to be like, hey, come and do this artwork. It's a process.
You're educating them as well.
Yeah, and thankfully, the people that we've gotten to work with are like super teachable, which is awesome.
I feel like you're so patient, and I feel like you'd be a good
I don't know if
educator
that's
anyway.
true.
Is
I
that
feel like
not-
when I'm by myself, I'm so impatient, throwing things like, I hate this pencil.
No.
But,
Really?
Yeah, I think when you're
Are you
around,
that guy?
I'm not like a rage person, not like crazy. But when I'm around people, I'm much more measured, because it's important. Because you don't want to see people freak you. You don't want to freak out in front of people like that.
Oh
It's true.
man. So you've got a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
For sure, but I've kind of taken to, I don't want to say like leaning into it, but appreciating that part of my process sometimes is actually being frustrated and angry, because there's something on the other side of that.
Work through it.
Yeah. Or use that energy not to overwork yourself in a part of the process that you're getting stuck with, but use it to as fuel to keep something going. Because you could just like take a break. Most people, when I'm getting frustrated, they're like, just take a break and step back. That's really not my method. That's just wasting time to me. It's probably the smart way, but it's not my
No,
way.
you're supposed to take a breath. Just stop for a minute. Of course,
Yeah,
we're all supposed to.
100%.
But when you're in the moment, that's the last thing you want to do. That is
No.
That is the 10th thing on the list, and
Well-
I have not gotten there yet.
Yeah, exactly. I need to get this done. It's kind of like that you wait to the last minute to start on a project that's due tomorrow. That same kind of energy comes out of a frustration in a process where you kind of go, this will sort of fuel me to push me through this moment.
Yeah.
I'm mad because it's not going well. Assess and move forward.
When you're with other people and you have that all restrained, is there something that someone might say or do
Set me
or
off.
be? Yes.
We're all
and
snapped.
I'm asking for my own growth and stuff, because it happens to me sometimes, and I'm usually pretty good about it.
Yeah.
But if it's in a moment when we're like up at Breakfast Club and it's that we just get there and I haven't taken care of her yet, you know what I mean? Like we need like 5 or 10 minutes
Yeah.
when we get there to like get set
I've
up
been there.
type of
I've
thing.
been that person that's bothering you too quickly. I understand.
Everybody, it's done out of love. There's no malice. There's no badness to it. But sometimes I get snappy because like I just need a minute. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
And it's like if I just took a breath instead of responding that way, that would that would be better, right?
I don't know. That's a really, really good question.
No. The question back to is anything like that happen to you? Do you?
I'd have to get pushed pretty hard, because I feel like I'm only really hard. The only person I'm really hard on is myself. In that situation, I can be really hard on myself. But if somebody else is there, I kind of think, you know what? They're just learning. They don't know any better. I just kind of choose my words a little bit better. Let's slow down. Let's take a breath. Because I've been that person that needed to learn and got frustrated. So it's a little bit easier to treat somebody better than I would treat myself. But there is certainly situations where you're like, all right, shut up for a moment. Hang on. Stop moving. Let's think this through.
Is it the ping-ponging of the thoughts? Sometimes people
A little
just stay
bit.
there to figure it out.
In the case of collaborative stuff, and this isn't happening with the project I'm working on, but on other art installations or big projects, other artists that you're working with will get really excited or interested in impressing you, so they'll be really proactive. But they'll get so far ahead of where the process needs to be, they'll have done all these things proactively wrong because they missed all these things that were important as fundamentals. I'm like, that's great. I'm happy. We have to scrap all that.
Yeah. You can take it home if you want, yes, but
Put it
it's
on
not
your
going on this
fridge.
wall.
Yeah. No offense. And it's trying to do it in a helpful, sort of loving way because you want to help people through learning the process. But there's, especially with corporate jobs, there's so much bureaucracy. Everything kind of needs to be stepped in such a way. You can't jump ahead and hope for the best. So, but you can't know that without having done it before either.
No, I totally get what you mean there. Everything's scheduled out.
Yeah, and I'm
it's
not
done that way because by
yeah.
the time you get there, things are going to be different.
Exactly. Yeah. And I get that with some of the people that I've collaborated with. They're like, I'm just thinking a few steps ahead. I'm like, don't waste your time.
The company that you're representing with your shirt there, I have a great deal of experience with.
Yeah.
And that is the number one company that I would refer to when it comes to that. Just go
Yeah.
with their schedules and that's it. Just do whatever they
Right.
say.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I've been there. Yeah.
Leave your schedule open. This is what we're doing. Don't pretend to have a plan because you're just going to feel like you wasted your time.
Everyone who works there likes to point out that that's a Fortune 500 company. I know that. Look,
for
what you
them.
don't understand is that a Fortune 500 company works like this. I'm like, I got it. Tell me what you want.
Okay,
How's
cool.
that?
99-cent toy cars. Gotcha. Fantastic.
But they're sold by the millions at a time. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
great.
the
I'm happy
biggest
for you.
company in the world.
Yeah. I like them too.
I like the logo and I like the cars.
Yeah.
I can't stand much else.
I like them enough to get the Hot Wheels logo tattooed on me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was quite a collector for a while.
Matchbox. I like the Matchbox.
Oh,
ones
no
too,
kidding.
though. Do you know that? Was there a difference, really? I mean, weren't they like very, very similar back in the day?
They were, I would say, if you were to really break it down, Matchbox did a better job with the proportions of the vehicles.
That's what I thought.
Hot
the
Wheels
scales
is always
were
kind of stylized and
cartoon.
exaggerated. Yeah, which is, I always liked the ones that were more believable. I
So
don't know.
did I, because I wanted the Starsky and Hutch car or the Dukes of
Yeah,
Hazzard
exactly.
car or whatever.
I was never into like the guitar turned into a hot rod. Like, damn,
6
what a-
engines on this one.
What a great Easter present.
Yeah. This
Throw
one's
that
got
in
a
the
bubble like
bin.
it goes underwater, but it doesn't.
Right. Somebody, yeah, and later in life doing automotive design artwork for a living and realized that people sit there and draw these and that's their job. I'm like, okay.
And then somebody's job was to go make them in real metal, 20, 30 years later. Because
Yeah.
a lot of those cars, they went and
Yeah.
made in real.
Which is kind of cool.
That I think is pretty cool, but again, it's like it was
yeah.
like the Flintstones live action movie. I go, what are we doing here? Flintstones was
What
a
are we
cartoon
doing?
based on the Honeymooners. Why are we now doing a real life?
How many, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like an Inception version of how deep in the dreams do we want to go?
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great reference. It's within a.
Exactly. We're going to lose
Russian
something in
dolls.
translation here.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, or I don't know. That shit gets weird.
Anyway, so this job is keeping you busy right now.
Yeah.
But you're still doing your usual stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Is it hard to keep up with commissions and stuff right now?
Right now, it's a weird balancing act. Again, because I kind of treat social media as like a full-time job. So I'm like, all right, first few hours of the day is my Instagram time, and then I've got a pocket of design build runnery time, and then like afternoon into the evening is paint shop time. So it's a lot of late nights right now. Yeah, but it's good. It's fun. I like. I was about to say I like being that busy, but I don't like being that busy, especially after like coming back to our place and just after being bathed in paint chemicals for 6 or 8 hours. You just kind of feel icky when you come back. You don't wake up feeling great.
And you live in an artist studio now.
Yeah.
Like you
yeah,
chose
but thankfully
that.
that's
You
not where I'm
chose that.
painting.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, thank goodness.
But I'm saying you're leaving one kind of workspace to come home to
Sort
like a
of.
live workspace.
Yeah, but thankfully new place is like roll up garage door, drive in, walk 5 steps, crash into bed. It's so nice. No stairs.
It's like the Doc Brown setup with the Burger King. Just roll in, hit the cot.
Exactly right.
Oh, that's
It's
kinda
quite
cool.
nice. Yeah,
A
it's a-
jukebox. That'd be fun.
Should get one.
Auto Kennel should have one. Actually, come to think of it, for all the lags that they've
All
probably.
the stuff that they got over there,
probably
you're
won't do.
surprising that they don't have a jukebox, honestly.
Is it still fun being in that little neighborhood?
I
that
love
little
it.
pocket?
It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that they keep adding to the neighborhood. Like the golf sign
Yeah.
up there now is super cool.
Yeah, there's some other signs that, more automotive signs that are being added that I think they're supposed to end up being, like lit up at some point.
It'd be really cool.
Yeah,
To
so
have the
that'd be
golf
really,
things
really cool.
rotating would be awesome.
I thought that was the original goal, but maybe somebody was like, I don't know, man.
The original goal was to have auto kennel sign light up too, but it's never been wired.
I asked him about that recently. I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, does it turn
Yeah.
on? Oh, I mean, if you wired it up and put some light bulbs in there, it would.
Maybe it would. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, it actually is really, that parking lot is super bright at night.
Oh, because of the real street light above
My goodness.
it for the alley. Yeah.
We have one window and we're like, holy cow, it's
Yeah.
nighttime.
You're getting it's like the Seinfeld episode with the
Yeah,
Kenny
exactly
Rogers
right,
roasters.
exactly right. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, you worry about living in a shop situation like that. Man, is it going to be like living in a basement all the time? Not even close. It's so bright in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during the day.
Do you keep the roll up open during the day? Because
I
that's a
try
lot of light
to,
right
yeah,
there.
which is great because it actually faces west, which is awesome. So the sunset down that way. But if I have a car parked inside, which normally I do, or a nice car parked inside, I should say, if it's not covered, I won't. I don't like cars sitting out in the sun, so
No.
I'll leave it down.
Congrats on your new car.
Thank you very much.
Just got a new car. Well, 3-year-old car, but almost a brand new car.
Yeah, almost brand
but
new.
a new Porsche.
As new as I'll get, yeah, for now.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
amazing.
quite happy about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Want to tell everybody what it is?
I got a 2018 Cayman GTS.
In white.
White on black. It's
Good
quite a
looking.
car. I'm enjoying it.
And if anybody recalls, your last one was a 4S
Yeah.
911 996
Yeah.
manual, and this one is a
The
Cayman
opposite of
GTS
that, yeah.
PDK.
Yeah,
You really flipped the coin,
I did.
and you love it.
I was very emotional that day because I couldn't get the financing for the car I was originally looking at. So I was just like swiping through listings, and I was like, here's
Hang
what
on,
I
it
was.
was because it was too old, right? It was an older
Yeah,
car?
yeah, the 99 for a 996 they now consider a classic over 20 years. So getting classic car financing is a different bracket of getting approved for something
Right.
of which I was not capable of qualifying because my credit is very, very young. So I was like, well, I guess that wasn't meant to be, which is sort of a bummer. But so here I was, like, scrolling through listings, and I knew that I really, really wanted that car. And I was like, well, what's the opposite end of the spectrum? I was so angry. I was like, they already ran my credit once today. What else can we run on today?
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, it was the same day. I
That's
messaged,
a really good point, though. You're
Thank
like,
you.
I just took the hit anyway. Might
yeah.
as well drive home in something.
Yeah. What's that window where it affects my credit? Is it 24 hours? Well, let's just do them all real real fast. So I had messaged Porsche Irvine because they had that car and a couple other things, and I thought, well, I'll go take a look at it. And they were like, it's we just took it in. It was a lease turn in, so it's going to be a CPO warranty car, which is awesome. But they were
I
like,
love that CPO.
yeah, I was
I know
like,
you pay for it, but
yes,
I mean,
but I was like, you know what? I'm okay to spend a lot more for the confidence of a car that's still under warranty. I'm used to spending on, or the last few 911s haven't been cheap, and they haven't been cheap to take care of. So I was like, you know what? Warranty sounds pretty cool. I'm happy to pay more for a warranty. Yeah. But it was funny because I got there and they're like, it's dirty. We haven't done the inspection. We can't let you drive it. You can start it though. And he was like, go ahead and rev it. Like, room.
I'm not the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well,
I drive sideways.
I was like, this is
doing it for me.
this is definitely something I would love to test drive this before I sign for this amount of money. And they're like, we can't hold these. Nobody can hold inventory long enough right now. And that's just the car market right now. So like, you actually have to we have to sign a contract in order to hold this right now. So I was like, fuck it.
You can get your check back, but you have to sign a purchase.
Yeah,
agreement.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And they were an AutoNation dealer, but they were fantastic. And I was like, you know what? Run that credit. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sure enough, I was like, they made it work. Let's do this. Awesome.
Yeah, as I understand, it's hard to find something, but I think they'll approve anybody for anything right now is what I've heard.
Oh man, yeah. If you can find anything, just buy it. Don't bother trying to haggle and make a deal. There's somebody right behind you that's just going to pay what the number already says.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on 2 years ago, it's the opposite now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of the same with like cars and housing right now. It's like an amazing time to sell, and you're like, yeah, we did really good. But you can't go out and buy anything.
Right.
Because everything else is just as expensive.
Yeah, our 997 is worth way more than it was when we bought it.
That's
with
awesome.
50,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
But what the hell else would we get?
Exactly.
There's no way, we would never get rid of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it's been an experience.
I like your yellow socks too.
Thank
I
you.
guess I like your whole style because it's all really tied in. The gray, the red, and the yellow.
I was
It's
gonna
all
wear.
shirt.
I have a green hoodie that I wear an awful lot, but I was like, oh yeah, the notes always say wear dark clothes, so I'll just.
Oh, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, that's just because. Here's the truth is that ruins the illusion in a thing like this.
I see what you're
because
saying.
the brightness changes the thing on the cameras, and then you see like, oh wow, they're just in their little dining room in the house there. There's nothing real special going on. It's a
get it.
lighting thing.
I totally get it.
What's coming up for you? Why did you want to be here? Other than did you just want to come and hang out again?
Well, I definitely wanted to come and
my
hang out.
favorite.
I thought you guys might get a kick out of hearing about all the stuff that we test drove to get to the Cayman.
Lay it on me.
Awesome. Because the one thing
And then
that
I want to ask you to paint this.
awesome. The one thing I thought every time I shared the story, people were most interested in is that we rented a new Corvette, a C8.
Really?
Yeah, on we were.
Toro?
Yeah, it was like, what's the smartest way to do this? We'll do a Turo, we'll rent it for the day so that we can have it down in our area and use it the way we'd like. Because on paper you go, man, that's a lot of car for the money. That's a Corvette for you, right?
And then you listen to Matt Fair and everybody else be like, it's the most of the most
Yeah,
of the most
it's the
for
best
least.
car ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that set the standards way too high. So we rented one for a day.
Oh, yeah, you sent me a message. I want to talk about
Oh,
that. And I
yeah,
was
we
like-
got to talk about the Corvette.
I mean, yeah, he sent me a message. Like, seriously sent me a message. And I was like, this must be for somebody else. He's got the wrong
Whoops,
guy in his phone.
accidentally
Yeah,
sent
I
it
don't
to
know why I
Jay.
would wanna, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay.
I
know,
just,
whatever.
yeah. Thumbs up, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
See you soon, you know? I'll talk about anything you want to talk about, but
Why
whatever.
not? Yeah. Well, the stage was set so high for a car like that, and I don't really love the way that they look, but they're sort of growing on me.
It doesn't look good at all, in my opinion. I think
I'm
it's-
glad somebody else said that. That makes the rest of
Matt-
what I'm going to tell you better.
Matt Smoking Tire explained to me, though, something that I didn't see before he said it. And then once he said it, I was like, Jesus, I really am like daft and dumb and dolty.
Oh,
It's the exact... this isn't going to make sense until you actually see it in pictures. I wish the Stiglet was still here. We miss you, Stiglet. Hi, Will, on camera 3. The C8 is exactly the C7. All they did was move the cab forward.
yeah.
That didn't make sense to me that it could be that simple. And then when I looked at it on paper, I go, gah! But here's the thing. The C7 was good looking how it was. They should have redesigned it after they moved it forward.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have just left it there.
Yeah.
I think it's awful looking.
Excuse me. It is not my favorite. There
It
are
looks like
colors.
it looks like a kit Ferrari.
Yeah, it feels very much like that too. The
Well, it's pretty capable, though. I mean, tell me what you drove. Like, where did you drive it? What was your experiences? Why didn't you like it?
So we did the exact thing that nobody else that drives these things does.
Crest.
No, we drove PCH to go get coffee,
Oh.
and that was enough.
Oh, to go. This
And an
isn't for
hour
us.
later, we were texting the person that we rented from, "Can we return this?" He was very nice.
It's not for me either.
I want to get out of this car.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie more so than me.
The console thing that everyone likes. All
I
that
don't
stuff,
even know
like
where to
any of
begin
it.
with this car. So cruising PCH, just going down to Laguna Beach. That's a 10, 15-minute drive, depending on if there's traffic. Katie was getting car sick just being in the car.
You know my biggest problem with it was people saw you in it.
Yeah, when
Like,
we were
people
coming.
looking at it, and it was like I don't feel good, and not good. Like I don't know if I've driven in other Vettes before.
Yeah.
Like this one, I'm like it so doesn't represent me. It's so not me.
It's a little out of place, but I've found that I've been surprised so many times by cars I knew I hated. And then I drove it and I was like, wow, it opens my mind. I never would have expected this out of this car. I've had many cars that I would have never owned
Name
if not for Fiero, Corvair.
Fiero's a fun car to drive. I used
Yeah,
to love
but
the Fiero.
show up somewhere and have someone take you seriously.
It's got to be a GT now.
Yeah,
It can't be.
and
can't
same
be
with
5 years ago or more.
yeah, and so Corvair, another great example, fantastic car. Show
Why
up-
is that a fantastic car?
It depends on which generation you drive.
Oh,
Second
okay.
generation, compare it to a
Did they get it good? Did it finally get good?
fully independent suspension on a flat 6. It'll outdrive the same generation 911 by a ton.
So it was just the okay. It was
It's
just
a
the suspensions
far
back
better
in those
car.
days. We always
It's
said when they did it, they're like, oh, just put the engine. They're like, you have to engineer it, and they
Yeah,
didn't really
yeah.
engineer it at first. They were just like, oh, flip that around, do that.
yeah, it is a little bit weird because actually, compared to other like a Volkswagen motor, the engine rotates in the opposite direction. Then you have the wicked wild fan belt that does something that doesn't really make sense for science.
serpentine-
Yeah, changes directions wickedly. They're awesome cars if you really drive them. But again, show up somewhere and be taken seriously in a Corvair.
Again, more so these days.
Maybe, yeah, but yeah, at the time that I was owning them, it was a different thing for sure.
How many
But,
did you have?
I've had, I think, 3 Corvairs. I had one once while we were for a while while we were living here in California.
That's so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a happening car now.
Yeah, I always
Out there
sell.
every day.
I sell everything before they're cool. I've had 2 996s.
That's the problem with most artists, right? You're ahead of the curve.
I don't say that, but getting in on the ground floor is like I say, while they're cheap.
Well, what's going on with this GTS then? What's the reason?
Oh,
for
that was not cheap. That was the opposite of
opposite.
cheap. Yeah. That was, let me just
anti.
try something. Yeah, let me try something different. I've owned 2 911s and I loved them. The natural, easy answer would be another 9 on the 911. So what could I do that was in that world? Because I also looked at a bunch of different Ferraris that I absolutely, really, really wanted to love.
That's where I thought you were gonna go.
Yeah, that's on our list of stuff that we test drove, and I was just like so heartbroken by some of that stuff as well.
Was it the drive that let you down? Well, first of all, what models? What Ferrari did you look at?
So the 2 more
only ever driven a
prominent, that's okay. The 2 most prominent ones I looked at was a 348 Spider. That would have been early 90s. And
That's one of my
then-
favorite looking ones ever.
That was an interesting one. It's the Testarossa styling with the strakes on the side.
It's basically the 355 before the
Before
355,
the 355. That's a really interesting car. And then an early 360 Modena paddle shift car.
So you skipped right over the 355.
I love the 355, but they
Are they
become a
priced out?
collector car. Yeah, in that.
So
So
good looking. Oh god, it's so good.
and a great driving car as well. But it's just like that's a lot of
from
money
The
to
Rock.
throw. That's a lot of money to throw down. Yeah, exact one from The Rock, the yellow one. Yeah, fantastic car.
So the 348 you drove.
Yes.
And what let you down?
So actually, 348 and 360 suffer the same problem, and the same problem kind of exists in the 996 and early 997 world. They were so unpopular for so long that people just beat them to death and barely took care of them until the last couple of years, where their values started to come up because more people were buying 355s and 430s. So because the values were low, people were driving them, buying them, treating them like trash, and now people are refurbishing them and putting them on the market as good cars, and they're just hidden trash.
The 430 has always been the 996 for me.
Oh, really?
Except I liked the 996. The 430, I thought that was it. That was the beginning of the end of Ferrari for me.
It is a huge changeover. I mean, to carry over from the Modena in some ways, but it's a first generation F1 box, or proper F1 or dual clutch, I should say.
First dual clutch.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were. Yeah. I mean, wasn't the F1 the first sequential?
It's just a normal 6-speed with a normal clutch. Yeah, it's just
But weren't they
hydraulic.
the first ones to do it?
I don't know if they were the first ones, but it's definitely
Oh.
Definitely.
In a road car, I thought maybe not.
maybe, I don't know. That's a good question.
That was the first car I remember that had it because that was the designation. It was the 355 F1.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah, and that's
that? In
really
the little
cool.
F1 logo. and
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, they used to mean something, and
But I never wanted that one. The stick was always the better car, in
well,
my opinion.
yeah. In today's market, the a 355 or a 360 with paddles is easily 10 or 20 grand less,
Yeah.
and it just depends on the driving experience that you want overall. Sure, there's more things to take care of. The 348's only available in stick. What I love about that generation is it's still a dogleg first, and I love that. But again, the cars just aren't really that well taken care of. Buying a used Ferrari can be the most expensive thing you've ever bought.
Sure.
No matter
It's
if
worse than a
somebody
boat, yeah.
Yeah, no, even if somebody just gives it to you for free, it can be the most expensive thing you've ever done.
So no to both of those. and
No,
that's why you
even
got
though
into
I
the
liked
modern
both of them, I
ones.
just felt like the way people are pricing them, I was like, this is not accurate to car. Power, okay on those. I liked both of them, but they were both just scrubby enough where you're like, this could be good driver's qualities cars, but you're asking collector car pricing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. You're better off overpricing, overpaying in a dealership.
Do you think? I mean, where does it go with the car stuff?
I don't know. I think that it might, as far as like the pricing and stuff.
Yeah, I thank you for knowing what I meant. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I've definitely been paying attention because obviously I bother Paul at an auto kennel every single time something arrives. Hey,
I'm
how many miles are on that one? That's all. The only thing I ask now is how many miles are on, because I'll know if I can afford it just from that right now.
Are you the type of? Well, no, you just did it somehow. I'm the type of person that if I won't buy a car not from him.
I prefer.
You know what
I
mean?
wanted to.
I just won't. I won't. If I'm looking for.
Yeah.
We're looking at some point. A Carrera 2993 like
Nice.
Gabriella just bought. At some point.
Yeah.
Not now because they're through the roof.
Yeah.
But if it ever comes back, we're looking for that. I don't think I would buy one anywhere else because I don't trust anybody as much as him. And I mean,
Yeah.
everybody out there is whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, I get what you're
Can't
saying.
trust anyone these days. I don't mean that. I just mean because he's such a resource.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he's who I had sell my car, which was fantastic. So obviously, trust
He sold
him a
your
lot.
996.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And the car that I really wanted to buy that I couldn't get financing was a 996 through Paul.
From him,
So
yeah.
I like you. I really wanted to buy from him because that's like you're buying with some amount of confidence there for sure.
Was
versus
that the
buying from
99,
some
the first
dude.
year one?
Yeah. I
that
really
was
wanted
cool.
that
That was a
car.
cool car.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really wanted to buy from him as well. Again, just a confidence thing. The only logical step from there was a dealership certified pre-owned. I would not buy a used Porsche from some dude.
PCA owned, you know what I mean? Which you
Yeah.
get a premium because generally it's really well waxed.
Yeah, sure.
Do you,
Original lug nuts. Got the tire pressure sensor thing.
has the correct thread on the label on the seatbelt.
I kept a calendar from every year of PE car stuff.
I still have everything we had. Yeah, I did too. I kept it all.
What a strange cult.
Do you it's so funny. Do you think that there's another world where the Corvette would have worked for you? Like everything you said is me too.
No, okay.
It's just not the car for me. But meanwhile, put me in a stick C6, I would drive it around probably every day because I like that car.
Yeah, I honestly thought that car in a stick would probably at least give your hands and body something else to do so you wouldn't notice what you were driving.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that too.
Yeah.
That spaceship thing,
I don't get that car. Now, I will say, very fast, very capable if you're in canyons. But if you're like us, we live in Costa Mesa, it's an hour to Angeles Crest. That ride is 80% of what we use a car for. So some comfort there of being on the highway is just fine, you know.
It's rated as being one of the most comfortable cars.
It is really
What
comfortable.
were you guys having trouble with when you said she felt like she was gonna puke?
So the first thing that we did, naturally, is we brought it to our place and we put it inside. The car is freaking huge. Yeah,
Your car's probably pretty big too, though.
the Cayman is the same size as the 996 that I just sold.
No way.
Yeah,
For
same
real?
width and wheelbase. Maybe a little, probably has a little bit more nose overhang, but in our place it occupies the same amount of space.
That surprises me.
Yeah, but the Corvette was like, wow, well, we wouldn't be able to keep this inside.
Long?
It's fat and big.
Fat long.
For a car that has that performance, most other manufacturers manage to make a smaller car that sticks to the road just fine.
All right.
You just feel like
Not a fan of the new Corvette.
No, and then the interior is just got all this stuff going on that you're like, why is this? And then when we were parking in Laguna Beach, parking sucked because the car was so big. The way the doors come up, you can't see anything out of the car. The mirrors are useless. By the time I did park the car, Katie couldn't get out of the car, so I had to get out of the parking spot to let her out, and then put it back in the spot. So by the time we were getting coffee, we were like, holy shit, should we get a ride home and just tell the guy what his car is? Like,
Neither one of you want to get back in it.
no, not at all.
Something.
And then
That's a statement.
I mean, that's a Porsche. Porsche people.
Yeah.
Not many people have. Should we take the Porsche?
that's true. So it is fast, it is capable. And then there was that sense of like driving it. So we live in Orange County, obviously. So people driving by, some McLarens and Ferraris, and you just like roll the windows up and put the top. I don't want people to see. This feels like such a gimmicky, not Ferrari car.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a. It just didn't
very
sit
strange.
well with me. I've always felt like cars like that required so much explanation when you arrive places. Like, hang on, it's a good Corvette.
Isn't that car? Isn't that car a bit of a wannabe? It wants to be a Ferrari, right? Like
It
that's the whole thing with
does.
the mid-engine.
And here's what I
Never
struggle
had
with.
one. It's
Yeah,
an
I
entire
know.
50-year heritage.
I struggle with this because it is a
7
fast,
year
capable car. It is really, really good at certain things, but it still feels like a cheaply made car.
How many miles were on the one you drove?
I don't know, maybe 20,000 miles.
Okay, I mean, so not brand new, but not
Yeah.
enough that it should be.
Oh, it was a
falling
Turo
apart.
car for sure, but it was really clean. Guy had a really, really nice car. It was really, for what it was, it's quite nice.
Is there? I keep expecting to look over and see the Stiglet. I'm sorry, he's not here. Is there? I want to ask him production questions, and I can't. Is there anything that we're supposed to talk about that we haven't talked about yet?
No, I didn't bring a list of things to talk about. We're good.
No, I always love talking to you. So
No, I
come by
appreciate that.
anytime. It's not that.
I appreciate it.
We're not like plugging anything specific. And my
No, I appreciate that though.
Do you know what these are? You know these little things?
I've never seen one of those.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, please, here, take it in your hand because it's kind of cool.
Oh, it's heavy.
It clearly comes apart in a couple pieces, but it's by that company there. Is it
Play
Playmobil?
Forever.
Play Forever, yeah. And they come in a couple different colors, and you can tell how it's not a Porsche. You know, you can look at it and you see how much Porsche is there without it being anything Porsche.
Just to not buy like the copyrights to it, or
I guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
I like it.
Whatever it is, but
Yeah.
they're fantastic. They come in different colors. They're at all the Porsche dealerships on the little tracks and everything
Oh,
that
really?
they have in the kiddie sections.
no kidding.
Very popular.
Did you steal this one?
No. I'm talking to you about it for a reason because somebody who I don't know if she's still here or not, but Carissable sent that to us after
Oh, no
we were
kidding.
talking about it.
Nice.
And after it was sitting here on the desk for a little bit, we said, geez, I wish it was yellow. And I said, boy, I wish we had somebody who could paint it. And I said, boy, if we were talking about custom things, and if we were to hand that to somebody and say, boy, if you were an artist and wanted to just take this apart and go nuts with it and do whatever you wanted to do, is that something you would ever do?
I'm
Is that
taking
something
this
you would
with
ever
me.
be interested- Is it?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, it can be a 111 car. It can be
Don't give me any more ideas. We're good.
outstanding. And Carissable will be very, very excited. At least I don't know if
Awesome.
she's probably not still here. But, small screen doesn't do it justice. A lot of cinematography. Ann Anstead, sorry I missed you, brother. Hello. Hello, everybody.
So where did she get it from?
It's from that company, Play
Oh,
Forever.
okay.
And so some of them have paint on the headlights.
Yeah.
And some of them have different wheels, like the mini light wheels.
No, that's cool.
So of the choices, some of them were out of stock. This was like one of the only ones left. And it arrived, said, well, green's pretty nice. And it is.
Yeah.
But something custom by a friend
An
to
actual-
sit here. Yeah. And then we were like, well, if
Let's not
it
set the
came
bar
out
too
good,
high.
it's not like you need another project, but I was like, oh, that could be a bespoke thing where there could be Pinstripe Chris
Custom
limited.
toy. Hey, you never know. You never know.
You never know.
Weirder stuff has happened.
I'm saying for whatever that is, I bet one that's $500 or whatever for from the artist. And by the way, I shouldn't be the one to. I shouldn't have even said any number because I shouldn't. It's not my place. Could be $5,000.
This is a whole
whatever
car.
it is. Whatever
Yeah.
it is. But from somebody like you, I think would be a kind of a neat thing. Plus, I genuinely like the design of that.
That's
I
cool.
like how it's a Porsche, not Porsche.
Yeah, that's true. You know what it is, but you know what it's not.
Right.
That's cool.
You see what I mean, though? Like, oh, they got the wraparound light, and clearly the shape is there.
Yeah.
But there's no back window. There's like a lot that isn't.
Yeah, it's this weird no man's land between Targa and.
Yeah, and they call it it's just called the Luft.
I saw that.
That's the
Yeah,
whole
the series
the model
Luft.
line. Yeah.
Smart. Really avoiding the lawsuit.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. All right, cool. So you're taking that. So that's easy.
Fantastic.
All right, beautiful. And there's
Thank
no time frame on that.
Don't
Obviously.
tell me that.
Well, I don't want you to be like show up tomorrow at Breakfast Club with it and you're
Here
done
you go.
already.
It's still wet.
We've seen that happen before.
It happens.
That's hilarious.
Nice. Thank
Anyway,
you.
that's cool. I can't wait. I'm very excited for that. And then, so people should follow you on Instagram, obviously,
You were certainly welcome to.
which is at I put it up there, Pinstripe Chris Dunlop.
Thank you.
Pinstripe_Chris.
That's me.
Now YouTube is the same thing, Pinstripe Chris.
Yes.
And TikTok.
Yep.
Chris?
Pinstripe Chris. Yeah.
Everything's Pinstripe Chris.
Yeah. Hopefully.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so people should follow you.
Please.
And are you? You're not going to come drive all the way up here again tomorrow, are you?
No.
No.
I did
That
all
would have been
today.
amazing. Yeah, you were there last week and the week before.
Yeah, which is unusual for me as it is.
Was that to drive the brand new car?
It was. And I miss coming up on Fridays. Most of our production meetings lately have been Friday mornings, so I'm like, damn it.
It's so cool to be working on something, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like that, but I miss when Fridays was a little bit more of the rhythm. You guys' turnout's been so huge lately. It's like I almost feel like I'm better off showing up on the motorcycle. Anyways, I can get through the parking lot a little better.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Last week there was no room.
So I noticed.
Some people were coming up and turning around and going back down, but that's
Yeah.
unusual. I think that was because it was the first week after car.
You think so?
Yeah, the week before was very light. I think because of car week.
Yeah, it was
the
peaceful the
parking
week
lot was like
before.
3/4
Strangely, yeah, yeah, it was cool. Yeah,
And then I think the manufacturers sending cars lately has helped. You know,
right,
the
we're at that
Pagani-
time of year.
The Pagani started it, and
Yeah.
then Aston Martin sent BASM in the the new Vantage
That's
after
right.
last
That's
week.
right.
So I think there's some stuff like that. Some people, if they know something's coming,
Yeah.
maybe they come out for it.
That's a good point. It's become quite a spot. What are you doing?
I don't know. I know what I meant to do, but I certainly see what I'm doing. Me too. It's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Me too. I wrote this card a week ago. I forgot to say it. So upcoming guests: Fireball Tim. He was last week. Pinstripe Chris. We're sitting here
Hey,
right
all
now.
right.
Next week we're back with Misha Mansour.
Nice.
In the future, coming up, we've got Joe Gatt, Adam Ferrari, and Anstead Jensen Button. Bedem Barisha from BBI, Tommy Kendall was trying to still put together, and that Porsche girl coming up at some point as well as whatever else falls on our plate.
Sweet.
Because we are people around here. Much like the Jim Carrey movie that's not on the Hallmark Channel. That's it. Are those all the callbacks? I think we got to them all.
There you go.
That's it, right? Tomorrow, GVBC, 9 to 11, up at Good Vibes at Newcomb's Ranch. If we get enough people to buy it, we could call it Good Vibes Ranch and Roadhouse. GVR&R.
The location?
Yeah.
Is it still available?
I think it's going to be available for a long time, don't you?
I don't know. Maybe?
I mean, I would love for someone to buy it and for something to happen, but it seems to be in a place where we're at a stall.
Damn.
Next week, back with Misha Mansour, as I mentioned.
Hell yeah.
I love you. We love you. Oh, wait, Instagram. What's going on with Instagram? Is there anybody still here? Oh, my gosh, there's a few people
Have we
still
scared them all
here.
away?
And soon to be kids' cars. Yes, so
Nice.
Crucible, I don't know if did you see that, Crucible? I have a client with an RWB 10996 turbo that I'm fabricating an exposed carbon wide body for, and the new C8. He got all that stuff.
Nice.
Okay. The new Corvette looks like it's unfinished, in my opinion. I agree with you, Dorian. Mainly because it sounds like it is. They just moved the cockpit up and then forgot to redesign it.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it in post.
993s, once set up, are lovely. Well, we know we agree that, Dorian, there. Awesome. All right. We love you. We
Love
all
you guys.
love you and you at home, right? That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
We
I
did
love
it. We
you
did
guys.
a show. That's a show.
That's a whole show.
Here, look, I'm going to put the bubbles on. We're going to hit the smoke because I forgot to tell you about Jay Ryan. This is Jay Ryan from Late Night Playset, reminding you to please like, subscribe, and comment below. This feeds the internet algorithm and eventually us as well.
I have a
This
bubble
fire-
allergy.
Do you?
No.
Oh, these are the best bubbles in the world. These are from the American Bubble Company, Bubble Tree.
Okay, they're not like hypoallergenic.
These are literally the best bubbles in the world, and they are not. They're all of that stuff. They're exactly what you just said. Not. They're not. They don't have a residue, and they're not allergenic.
Nice.
Yeah. They're for babies. Babies can have them.
They can eat these?
We love everybody.
Yeah.
Don't
Have a great
feed them
day.
to your babies. You guys are fun. Not as bad as you think. If we're lucky, we might peak at 80 and then stick around 30. That's what I mean by percentages of a large audience.